Hey, it's Marie here. Welcome to the Dressing Gown Diaries. And be warned because this is probably going to seem like a very crazy video. The first crazy thing being that it's Saturday the 11th of April 2020 and the me highlighting that will become evident a little about why I highlighted that at the start. The first crazy thing, I suppose, is that it's absolutely glorious outside. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still in my dressing gown because I got up. It's my first day off, I suppose, in 2 weeks at this stage. I've been working flat out, but loving it. And so just had a bit of headspace this morning, and I got up after midday. And I've been kind of mooching around, and so I started clearing because I work in my sitting room all the time, and so things have been building up because I've been working such long hours. So I started by cleaning my kitchen, and then I came in and I started to clear the paperwork that was gathering on my couch. And then in between times I put up these two yellow pieces basically on my couch. And so I walked back into my sitting room, and this is what I saw. And but before I go anywhere else, what I want to show you is there are two clocks in my sitting room, right, that are ticking, and they're both here for feng shui purposes. And up to the other day they were both the right time, and now they're ticking and the hands are just moving a little bit, but the hands aren't moving forward. And I suppose what I'm realizing is that, I'm just getting these out of the way now, but the first thing I have to say is that what the message is coming in very strongly is, no matter what time you call the time, there's only now. And whether I call it like what does that say, 25 to 10, I don't know whether it's morning or night, or whether I call it sometime after 2 o'clock or call it 4 o'clock, there's only now. And that's the first thing. But just going back to these two pieces, I suppose the first thing was only because I was, I actually asked and I got permission to go on the Positive Life Facebook page the other night, and I'm so grateful to them for that. But only because I was doing that, I wrote these two things down. And what I saw when I came in was this whole 3-2-1. And so I've been doing 3-2-1 together and trying to gather this group. And this is the magic number we need here, which is the square root of 1% of the population. And I was very much wondering why I needed to need 3-2-1 focus in the name of what we were doing. And I was sitting with myself to see, was I too attached to something that I'd already created? But now I'm beginning to realize that it actually all makes an awful lot of sense. So I suppose if anybody's into numerology, you probably know more about this than I do, but I know, for me anyway, and for most of us, 8 is infinity. So we've got the 2 8s there. And then the 32, I have an interesting insight in that as well. And basically when I sat down with this, just more and more information started to come in. And I suppose that's part of it for all of us, is that, we're all infinite beings. And if we sit and give ourselves the space, whether you're an artist or a musician or a wordsmith, whatever your thing is, if you just sit with it, maybe it's your garden, maybe whatever way it is, if you just allow that infinite energy to flow through you, there'll be new energy here for us all. There'll be new insights. We're just in the process of creating a whole new world. But going back to this 32 on the end of this figure, and the whole idea of the square root of 1% of the population is that we have the power to create and to make a change for everybody. It's the figure of, and how often are we actually in that big a group when we go to sports games or concerts, etc. Just that we need to be conscious of that as well. But the 32 piece, a few years ago, there was a lovely bakery called Just Be in Mullingar. And I was only in there a few times, but the very first time I was in there, I, even though I was talking to somebody on my right, my eye kept going out the window and to the left, which is quite rude, and I always try to be very present with people. So I was a little bit annoyed in myself. But I noticed across the road there was this building and it kept calling me, and it was actually a shop that was closed down. But it was number 32 and it was called Godwin's. And I was going, what is this about? What is this about? I'm going to show you what happened then next, because this has happened to me a few times. You know, where I'm looking at something and then it's like it splits in the middle to show me the message, and I'm going to tear this down the middle. And then I saw, because a gap came between the words, and so 32 to me, ever since, has meant that God wins. And so then that was the next bit I could see in this 8832. And so I wrote the 8832 down on my journal, and the next thing I was guided to just do this, right? So started dividing it all the way down. Divide by 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way down, and it actually reduces all the way down to 11. So it's like 11 by 2 to the power of 9. And then I was sitting there with that a bit more, and the next thing it suddenly dawned on me, today is the 11th. And today is the 11th of the 4th of 2020. So that's 4 is 2 to the power of 2. So 2, 3, 4, so that's 4 to the 2 to the power of 4. And then I was going, okay, so this 11, I know 11 is a master number. It's the first master number we have. It's the number for teachers and healers. And then when I looked at the page a bit more, I realized that as you go up along, right, you've got the 11, the 22, the 44, the 88. So if there's something huge about this number and how it's made up. And then I realized that, okay, so any of us who've done a bit of maths know that if you want to multiply the numbers up, so 2 to the 4, we need a 2 to the 5 to actually make up that, 2 to the 4, 2 to the 5 is 2 to the 9 times 11. And 2 to the 5, guys, when you go and calculate it out, 2 to the power of 5 is back to that 32, which is God. So then I started thinking about God and God wins. And it's not about, like, there are as many versions of God, I think, as there are people on earth. But, like, ultimately, God is love. And I suppose if love could win in the world in the way we are now, then we just have this opportunity for this huge quantum leap in our world. And all it needs for God to work is for us all to work together, and it only takes 1%. So I was right in the middle of saying all we have to do for God to win is for 1% of us to work together, when I ran out of memory. And so now I have to go back and finish what it was I wanted to say. So the other really interesting thing is that, talking about the fact that today is the 11th of April, 2020, anybody who's into numerology knows that that calculates down. I'll try and show you this here. Where is that? Over here on the corner. So 11/04/2020. That's a 1 day, and ones are all about new beginnings. And then I suppose if we take the 32 being God wins with the new beginning of the 1, it's like there's something really, really special happening today. So, I'm glad that I've become used to sharing a lot of the crazy stuff that has been coming in over the last few years. It started out with sharing affirmations and texting people, etc. And, I suppose started to share that side of me more and more over the years. And the reason I'm saying this now is that, look, if there's crazy information coming through that makes sense to you, that you think other people need, start to be confident in sharing it, because what I can see now is that all the crazy nudges and all the crazy things I've been shown all make sense, and it's all part of important information that we all need. So I can't assimilate all of this, but I know there's layers and layers and layers of something going on at the moment. And I suppose, you know, we need to unite in love, but it doesn't take many of us to unite in love to make a huge difference in the world. So that's it for me for this video, and I'll be back with another video again soon. And if you want to check out more about what 321 Focus Together is all about, I'll have the link below here for you. So look, take care, be safe, be well, love and God bless. Bye.